Hi, this is Claremont Virtual School. In the lesson that's just about to come up, what I suggest you do is you try the examples that you see in the actual lesson itself, and then try a few of your own examples. The best place to write all these down is in your literacy homework book, because then you can keep all the work that you do whilst you're not attending school in the same place, and then we can take a look at it when we get back to school. So welcome to this lesson on punctuating direct speech. So direct speech is basically if somebody says something. So for example, if the teacher says, "I would like a cup of coffee," then what we have to do is you have to think about what is it that the teacher is actually saying. So, I would like a cup of coffee. I would like a cup of coffee. There we go. I would like, make that a bit neater, a cup of coffee. Now, the teacher is actually saying that, so what we could do is we could underline the bit that the teacher is saying, and then we can add said the teacher. So to punctuate direct speech correctly, what we need are speech marks. Now speech marks look like a 66 and a 99, just like that. And this one is open speech marks, which we call open speech marks, open, because that's the start of what is said. And this one we call closing speech marks, because that is the end of what somebody said. It's as simple as that. So open and close. Now, in our sentence then, I would like a cup of coffee, said the teacher. What we've done is we have underlined the bit that the bit that is actually being said. So when we use speech marks, all we do is we put open speech marks at the beginning of the underline, and we put closed speech marks at the end of the underline bit. Now at this point we can get rid of the underline, so get rid of that and take that away. So now we've got, I would like a cup of coffee, said the teacher. Now the bit between the speech marks, I would like a cup of coffee, that is the spoken clause. Spoken clause, C-L-A-U-S-E. And the bit that tells us who is speaking is called the reporting clause. Reporting, C-L-A-U-S-E. Now, some of you may know that when you have two clauses in a sentence, they have to be separated either by a conjunction or by a comma, and in this case we're going to separate it by a comma, and the comma goes just here. Okay, it goes after the last word that the person says, but before the speech marks. Very, very important, boys and girls, before the speech marks. So if you put it underneath, just where the tip of my pen is now, that's not the right place. It's got to be before and then speech marks. So what we've now got is open speech marks. I would like a cup of coffee, comma, close speech marks, said the teacher, full stop. And that is fully punctuated direct speech. So to carry on then, here's another example, and if you can do this one as I'm going along, then that will be fantastic. Just to adjust the camera. Okay. So, I am sorry, I am late, she whispered. So remember, first of all, think very carefully what is being said. So the person says, I am sorry, I am late. They don't say, I am sorry, I am late, she, or even, I am sorry, I am late, she whispered. They don't say that. They just say those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. I am sorry, I am late. So therefore, open speech marks goes at the beginning of what is being said. Just get around there. And then closed speech marks is at the end of what is being said. So you can see that. And then now we don't need the underline. So we can get rid of this. And don't forget we need a comma to separate the spoken clause from the reporting clause, and then finally a full stop. So therefore the whole thing is, I am sorry, I am late, comma, close speech marks, she whispered, full stop. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to ask you to do this example. So write it down, pause the video, and then once you've had a go, start the video again and see if you got it right. Okay, so I'm going to use different colour now. So the beginning of the spoken clause is just there. The end of the spoken clause is just there. So he's saying, I can't find my pen. That is what is being spoken. So therefore, that's where the closed speech marks go. The comma, don't forget the comma to separate the spoken clause, which I'm going to underline with a scribble, from the reporting clause. So open speech marks, I can't find my pen, comma, closed speech marks, he complained. And you can have he complained, or he said, or he whispered, or he shouted, pretty much whatever you like. And then obviously don't forget the full stop at the end of the sentence. Hope you got that one right. Okay, so press pause again. No. Okay, so to develop speech punctuation, what happens if somebody is asking a question? So, for example, where have you been? Asked the teacher. Sort of thing that teachers very, very frequently say. So, where have you been? Asked the teacher. Now, this starts off just as exactly as before. So, this is so let's underline what the teacher actually says. So the teacher says, where have you been? So therefore, open speech marks goes there at the beginning of the underline, and then closed speech marks goes here at the end of the underline. Now, let's get rid of the underline because we don't really need that. Oops. And let's make the Y a bit better. So, where have you been? Asked the teacher. Now, where have you been is a question. So simply, you stick a question mark just there. And don't forget that the closed speech marks goes after the question mark. So, where have you been? Question mark. Ask the teacher and full stop. Right, now press pause and I'll set another one up for you. Okay, so here's a couple of examples for you. Have a go. when I finish talking now, press pause, and then I will show you what the answer is. So press pause. Right, so just to give you the answers for this. So the first one, what are you doing? She asked. I've already put the squiggly line there to show that this is what is being said. So open speech marks at the beginning of what is being said, sometimes called open speech marks, and then at the end of what is being said we've got closed speech marks just there. Okay, so therefore, what are you doing? That is what is being said. That's the spoken clause. Because it's a question, we have a question mark. So not a comma this time, but a question mark. Finally, she asked is the end of the sentence. So we have a full stop. On to the second example. Just turn the camera. Second example, can you help me? Once again, I've already put the squiggle to show these are the words that are being said. So, open speech marks here. Can you help me? Close speech marks just there. And because it's a question, we put a question mark just there. So see that the question mark is not underneath the speech marks, but it's before the speech marks. And then finally, he begged is the end of the sentence, so therefore we've got a full stop at the end. Right, I'm going to put some more examples up on the screen now. Don't forget to press pause while you're doing them. Well, I hope you found the examples useful, and if you did, then please rerun the lesson again and again as many times as you like, and do some more examples. As I said before, if you do the examples in your literacy book, then we can take a look at them when you come back to school. In the meantime, stay safe.